My name is Ria and I'm from Japan. I'm doing a PhD in Earth Sciences and I'm in Canada for 3 years.
Okay, thank you. Can you please describe how people behave during conflict in your country?
What we do is we try our best to avoid conflict as much as possible because we think that our culture, we respect harmony very much, so it's not good to have a conflict.
Can you recall a time when you used that pattern of conflict, so trying to avoid conflict, from Japan here in Canada?
Yeah, we do lots of times. Like, when I speak to my supervisor and talking about what kind of theme are we going to research from that moment, and when you have some idea and when I describe some idea, and he seems not very happy with that idea, so then I try to tell what he is thinking, and I try to change what I'm thinking to his point of view.
Okay. Can you tell me a bit more about this idea of trying to tell what somebody else is thinking?
So first of all, what we do is we try to read what people are thinking or what other people in our group is thinking. So that is the read of culture, that's reading the atmosphere, and which is quite important skill to tell, to survive in our culture. If
Right.
you can't read their atmosphere, then you can't be considered within a group or community.
Okay. So what differences have you noticed between how people behave here in Canada during conflict and how you were expected to behave during conflict in your country?
Okay, so here in Canada, I think that people are trying to solve the conflict using lots of words, like try to persuade other people or try to find the good, trying to be by discussing.
What happens when there truly is conflict?
Okay, so people will feel very guilty afterwards, but that is not supposed to happen.
Okay.
So that is their mistake to make it happen. So it's pretty bad thing. So one thing is to neglect that happened. That's going to be one solution. So we still have a seed of conflict, but we try to keep going. We try to forget it. And usually there is no outcome from the conflict. There is no solution. There is no agreement in the conflict. So it's kind of compromise.
Okay.
And it's always very vague.
Very vague.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happens to the relationship after one person has been very emotional?
It could be very serious, and it could end their relationship.
Okay.
So if it is between friends, then they would say they are no longer friends.
Interesting.
So you could behave as if you are friend,
Yeah.
but you couldn't be really friendly.
Right.
You have some stiff face.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Have you changed in your approach to conflict or in the way you respond to disagreements since you moved to Canada?
I think I'm trying to adapt the Canadian way, the discussion way to my solving. I tend to be very emotional in the conflict, so that is not I like. So I like the way the Canadian is very calm, or try to be very calm, and try to use their word to discuss. And I try to use that approach to my people when I have some disagreement with them.
Okay. And how do you feel about those changes?
I feel very positive because that would make our relationship better usually than having that emotional conflict. And I was discussing with other Japanese, and we are saying that we don't know how to solve conflict. in a good way, in a good manner, without having a catastrophic ending.
Interesting. So, okay, what's interesting about that for me is that you said we don't know how to solve conflict.
Mhm.
So, are you suggesting that in Japan you don't solve conflict?
No, we don't. So we just tame down the atmosphere. We just want to have the harmony back again.
Okay, okay, interesting.
Emotional conflict. And I was discussing with other Japanese, and we are saying that we don't know how to solve conflict in a good way, in a good manner, without having a catastrophic ending.
Interesting. So, okay, what's interesting about that for me is that you said we don't know how to solve conflict.
Mhm.
So, are you suggesting that in Japan you don't solve conflict?
No, we don't. So we just tame down the atmosphere. We just want to